All praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Raka Akwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how, excuse me, we get our confidence from Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and the world gets its confidence from the world, man. Meaning they get their confidence from the police force, their job, the skewed law system that makes the mockers, the scorners, the scoffers, the antagonizers, the robbers, right? The thieves, the wicked in general. It makes them have a safety net, right? And makes the people that are the oppressed, makes the widow, makes the poor have no justice, right? I don't think I've really seen justice once in my life, in this world, man. I don't think I've ever seen justice. I don't think I've ever seen like justice either for myself or for like someone else, man. I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen what justice looks like, man. Like you might hear people say, oh, karma and all that, where someone's taking matters into their own hand, instant karma and all that, where they're taking matters into their own hand. But as far as the law putting out like true justice for somebody, I don't think I've ever seen that, man. Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 17, for behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come to mind. Now, there's another scripture that says, a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness as well, right? And that's the scripture that I actually wanted, but I can't remember exactly where that is right now off the top of my head, man. Right? But it's in, like, look it up, just look up this quotation. We look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. I think it might be in Peter. I think that might be in the book of Peter, to be honest with you. I think it might. I'll have a quick look and see. Where you look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And this is why it's so important, and this is the main reason why we highlight so many things in the Bible, man, because it allows us to quickly just scan and find certain things that we want to look for, man. Okay, so what do you have about Shem Shai? Just in case anyone thought, man, this guy don't know what he's talking about, he's lying, man, he don't say that. He don't say that in the scriptures. He's a fake, he's false. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 13, nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Right, that's what we're hoping for on this earth, man. A situation where we get to see righteousness, but we don't see that in this world, man. People antagonize in this world, like they do all kind of crazy things to us from day to day, and then people will try and be like, if we call it out, yeah, and we say, oh, wait, that we say what it is, right? They'll try and either gaslight us and make it like it's not happening. They'll try to say we got a chip on our shoulder, or even if they do pretend to do some justice for it, they ain't gonna give us a fair shake anyway. And that's why we like our confidence don't and can't really come from the world, man, because this world ain't for us. Where's that scripture, man? Micah 2 and 10 is it? This is not your rest. Micah chapter 2 and verse 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. We can't try and put our trust in this society, man. And try, like, how many Jakes be getting pulled over by the cops? I know my rights. I know my lefts, mate. You know you're gonna know, or you can know all your rights that you want to know in this society until Esau hits you in the mouth with the left, and they'll change the rules on your ass, man. You can know all. You can be on a flipping union and all kind of stuff on your career, and Esau can still try a thing, man. Or he can just try and make you so miserable for that you want to leave. Like Esau's a demon, man. Don't you know the man's a demon? And even with all the career, the job, and all of these different things that you Jakes have got, he's still trying to enslave you with that because he's trying to MOTB you. So let's say you worked hard and you did all the things that the society tells you. You just did was a true honorable citizen, the perfect American or the perfect Englishman, the perfect British, whatever you want to call it, man, the perfect citizen, and you just built yourself up, went through life doing what it do, right? Well, it still don't matter. It still don't matter because ultimately, right, they want to try and enslave you with that. That wealth that you got now is going to be something that they're going to try and use to enslave you. Because, oh, okay, you want to have this money, you want to do this, you want to do that. Okay, in order to keep it, now, you've got to bow down. And that's why our comfort can't come from this world, mate. It can't come from this world, right? We don't feel like if a situation occurs where, which, okay, in certain situations, you got the thing where Israelites are calling them people on scoffers, right? That are trying to harass us, right? But that really only works on another Jake, because Jake don't, he's scared of them, right? So if you say you're gonna call them and it's a Jake, okay, the Jake might bounce. But if it's an Edomite, the Edomite don't bounce. Esau calls the cops on people like how they call Uber Eats, man, or like how they call Just Eat or call for a food delivery. They call that like it's just like a speed dial thing, like it's just some any everyday regular thing, man. Like the Edomite's quick to call the cops, even when they're in the wrong. And Edomite's quick to call the cops, even when they're literally in the wrong. They're literally being recorded, lying and bearing false witness, and they still don't believe. Sometimes some things happen to them. But even when Esau, like you see, even when Esau jacks up one of his own people for being an asshole to Jake, and it might make them lose their job and all that. The loss of the job is not because that's not justice. That's just because the Edomites trying to do collateral damage. Like, okay, we can either potentially risk losing out on loads of money from customers not dealing with our company no more for a matter of time, for a certain amount of time, and then we lose loads of business. Or we can fire this one colleague, hire another colleague in the same position, and we don't lose out on nothing. And somebody else wanted that person's job anyway, so we'll give it to them. Derek was due a promotion, so Cassandra can be fired. Who cares? But we don't. What do we lose if we fire that one colleague and give it to another person that's also qualified for the job? We don't lose anything. But what could we potentially lose if we say, now we're standing with our colleague? Loads of customers could be like, nah, forget these people. We're boycotting their store, boycotting their company, boycotting their business, and now they lose out on millions instead of just firing one employee, two employees, whatever the amount of employees it was, losing out on nothing, and being able to just hire another employee anyway. There's always more. There's always at least one other employee that can do whatever job you do in a business. There ain't too many people that work in a profession where they're so skilled that it's impossible for them to be replaced. That's not too common of a thing, especially for the kind of people that would be doing all this bugged out stuff to Jake and then trusting in this system that nothing ain't gonna happen to them. Right? Them people ain't the most intelligent people anyway. But then this society isn't even based on the most intelligent people or the most righteous people or the most upstanding people winning anyway. Because if it was, the Israelites would be on top. Because we're the most moral people in the world. We're the most fair. All the things that Esau did to us as a nation, and we don't just chase them down and do them in every single day that we see them. We actually move out of the Edomites' way. We actually spare these Edomites, man. When if anyone was to be justified for crashing out, it would be us. Yet this world tries to make out like we'd be the least justified for crashing out. No, we'd be the most justified. But we don't, because we're the most fair people. We actually just always wanted to be treated and given an equal chance as everyone else. Now, because we later found out that we're the Israelites of the Bible, we was actually cutting ourselves short by doing that, because we shouldn't be chasing equal. And even something I found interesting is when Antiochus Epiphanes, that demon, got jacked up by Yahawah, right, and got given that incurable plague, even in his so-called sincerity, where, okay, I know I'm gonna die now, and I'm here, I'm ready to repent, he was still just saying in that at that time that Israel was equal to the Edomites now, when we're not equal. If he was truly sincere about repentance, he would have said we're better. He wouldn't have tried to make us equal with Esau. He would have been like, nah, they're better, and they deserve more favor because look at what their God did to me. But he was still proud. He was still proud even in his death. Every time I think about that story, I think, man, this guy was still proud because he was trying to talk about some Israel be equal to the Athenians and all that. Nah, we're better than them. And Esau will never admit that. Like, it's hard for Esau to even try and treat Jake fairly in this world, man. And that's why when I've been walking around sometimes and an Edomite might do that, Edomite smile, like that smile that they do, man. Sometimes I'll be like, all right, I smile back and that, but sometimes I'll be like, man, you damn devil. I'll be thinking in my mind, you damn devil, man. How many ways have you just thought about unaliving me right now? Or what wickedness have you been up to that you're thinking I know about? And that if I look you in your eyes, I'm going to know about, man. I don't trust you, Edomites, right? And in times past, I used to be a bit friendly to all races, man. But nowadays, when I be looking at some of you nations, man, I be thinking, you're wicked, man. Because we know what you people have did. We know how you people have deceived us and how you want us to be, believe that we're worse than you when we're better. You don't want us to believe that we're equal to you. You want us to believe that we're worse. We're actually better. You know how much kind of mental damage you have to try and do to somebody to try and get them to believe that? You want us to believe that it's normal for us to have to go to you for the want of all things. If we want some plantain, some bun and cheese, some ackee and saltfish or something, you think it's normal for us to have to go to you? And then you're scanning up the thing, looking at us with a dirty look, right? And that's normal. If our women want to get their hair done, which what woman doesn't want to have her hair done and be pretty, right? What women don't want to have their hair done and be pretty? I remember I saw some video where Jake had opened up a hair shop, and a heathen actually had the nerve to come in and be like, how did you get these products? How did you get access to all of these products? Did you get it through buyers or did you get it through friends? And I'm thinking, mate, that's none of your business. You buying something or not? And he told the guy to get out of his shop, man, and rightly so. Because they don't believe that we should be able to have an industry that we run. They actually think that that's not normal. But here's the thing, we're going to own the whole world one day, including them. Even when these heathen go back to their quarters and they're not technically under our foot now, they're still going to be under us, man. In the kingdom, we're going to still be judging over them, man. Because they ain't going to do it themselves. Even if we set up a king or a ruler over them of their own people, right, that they see, that kind of keeps the law more than them, he's still going to be wicked himself because he ain't going to be under the new covenant. So we're still going to have to monitor him. But he might just naturally now, he might have it ingrained in his mind to not break the Sabbath, to not eat pork, right? But he still might dabble in an idol or two, man. He might still start believing that there's some next power out there or something. Or might commit an adultery thing or something, man. Might think a tattoo's okay or whatever. They ain't going to be right. So we're still going to have to step in every now and again and be like, yo, fix up, man. I'm going to have to park that chariot up. Yo, park up. Or whatever the breaking sound of the chariot might be. Right? Jump out of the chariot from the sky because it just looks cool. Not because we have to. But our knees, our tendons and all that, we ain't gonna tear an ACL if we jump out of a chariot that's a mile high in the sky and just land down. Right? We'll be nice. So we might just jump down, garment flapping in the wind, right? Fringes and tassels flapping in the wind, land down. Yo, what y'all doing, man? Didn't we say no pork? Right? Didn't we say no adultery? Y'all trying to start up a third Sodom and Gomorrah down here, man. I'm not having it. You heard what happened to the last security guards. We ain't going to be having it, man. We ain't going to be accepting none of the wickedness. Ever. Wickedness is never going to get the chance to reach American heights, man. It might stir up, but it's never going to reach American heights. There's never going to be a time where Yahawah has to personally step in and be like, you know what? I'm going to jack these people up, man, because we're going to do it for him. We're gonna jack the nations up when they go off. So that Yahawah doesn't have to step in no more, man. And so that Yahawah Shai doesn't even need to necessarily step in. But there's plenty of things when it comes to Yahawah Shai, considering he's gonna be down on the earth, that you could try and think in your mind, but it's not even worth thinking, man. Like, just leave it. Right? Don't even get into that. Don't even get into that kind of stuff, man. Just leave it out. Don't even start thinking about them kind of things. I'm thinking, man, because you can be a bog out. Now back on the topic of how these people get their praise and their joy from the world. Let's get this scripture first, John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right? And we don't love the world, man. But these people, they love the world. Right? They love the world, man. They think, man, how can I increase my depth in this world? And that's why when the lockdown came, people didn't have a problem that the world was locked down because they was locking the world down, right? And they're thinking, man, who are you to lock the world down? No, they had a problem with the world being locked down because they couldn't dabble in the wickedness no more. That's the reason why they had a problem. And the main people that was affected by that lockdown, both physically and mentally, were women. They were the main ones, man, because they're the most worldly. Like, I've been watching this TV show called Evil, right? The TV show is called Evil, man. It's a pretty good TV show. And then there's one episode where they had this woman's daughters. She got like 4 daughters, and their daughters were playing around with a virtual headset. And then some person hacked into it, or like sent them a friend request on their virtual headset, and then they started playing with a digital Ouija board, man. Right? And there was like demons and like all different kind of crazy creatures running around when the daughters were playing the game. And they didn't decide, you know what, since all of these things are running around in the game, let's just stop playing it. They didn't think that. The daughters didn't say, you know what, let's stop playing this game. Even though they admitted to their mum later, oh, that we've been playing this game and all that when we shouldn't be playing it. They only did it because their mum's friend found out that they was playing it. And they was worried that the mum was going to find out from them. But they just kept going back to it, man. They just kept going back to the game. They kept wanting to do the Ouija board thing, even though they're like literally damn near like Satan showed up on the screen. And I was just thinking, yeah, women are like naturally more easily influenced by wickedness and evil than men. Going back to Eve, they're just more naturally inclined to do wickedness, man. They're so easily influenced. Like, it's not even funny how easily influenced they are, man. Say to a woman right now, right, let's go to this or that place, and it might extract like 50% of your whole family's savings, right? They'd probably go. They'd want to go. They'd be down to go, man. Say, oh, let's go on this holiday, that holiday, and they know it's like I think that you might have to take out a loan for or something like that in order to be able to pay. They'll be like, yeah, let's do it. And that's why these women be getting caught easy on them payday loans and all that. There used to be this thing called Bright House and all that in the UK, where like people are paying off a washing machine and all kind of crazy things for bare years, man, for a washing machine, or for a fridge, instead of just buying a used one and then saving up until you can get another one, man. And then even when women get some kind of savings or some kind of money, they start getting gassed up, man. Now men get gassed up too, but like the way our men view money and the way our women view money is not the same. And men have money most of the time with the mindset to help others. Women have money with the mindset to help themselves, right? And someone I know someone out there is gonna be on some, oh, but not all women and not all men. All right, whatever, man. But most women right now, if they get a triple increase in their salary right now and their man doesn't, and that triple increase means that they make more than their man now, most of them are going to start looking outwardly like, okay, I need to get away from this guy now, or he better start stepping his thing up. Same thing with how women are more easily or more likely to accept gifts from strangers that they know that they don't deserve, man. Women will accept gifts from people and they'll just accept it. But men don't really be doing that. But neither does it get offered anyway. Men don't just be getting offered things. Like our glory does not come from this world, man. But women and Esau and like all these wicked ass people, all the red pill and all that. And much of these red pill mans talk all this shit, yeah. Have you ever heard them give an answer to what they think that the world should be like then? Or did they just try and tell you about how it is? Okay, the women are crazy, bro. They just out for money, bro. They protect your peace, hold frame, bro. And then they tell you to work 700 hours a week, 700 hours a week. Step your game up, this and that. Sleep. They're not against telling you to sleep with another man's wife. They're not against telling you that. And when they're telling stories about how they might have slept with another man's wife, they don't feel shame. They boast. They'll have a smile on their face. Even some of these guys that we might watch and we think, oh yeah, this guy's funny or whatever, they'll start talking and you'll hear them say something. You're like, man, this guy's off. And you're like, man, this guy. Okay, you can listen to him about certain things, but the whole thing about what they've got to say, they ain't got the full moral code. They haven't got a way that the red pill thing that they believe in would manage the earth, because there ain't no red pill diet. They'd be taking a doctrine of a diet from somewhere else in the world to apply it to what they think. Okay, they'll say about the financial system about this and that, but then they don't say, okay, the solution is this. If we was to have a proper financial system, then the proper financial system should be this. They wouldn't say. But among us as Hebrew Israelites, we would say a proper financial system is supposed to be balanced. And you can use a precious metal like gold and keep the weights balanced, man. Not no skewed measures. And that can be the way how people decide wealth, right? Not no digital thing where you can just tamper with it and change it and fiddle about with some buttons and then it's this and it's that. Like if you ever looked at the stock market and you just see how certain times some stocks just go up or down and you're like, man, the financial system of this world's a joke. How the hell is this thing here gone up like damn 4,000% in a week? Right? This thing here has gone up 4,000% in a week now, right? But then this thing here has gone down 50%, and then that thing that goes up 4,000% in a week, and then it goes down 90% next week. So there wasn't no true longevity in that. Like it's all just skewed and bogged out, man. But wealth of a company would be a thing that would gradually go up. Right? Wealth of a person is a thing that would gradually go up. But in this world, it's volatile. A person can be completely broke today and then extremely rich tomorrow. And some people might say, oh yeah, that's good. That's good. No, it's somewhat is good, right? But then Yahawah's got the ability to do that to a man as well. He says in the scriptures, it's not a difficult thing for the Lord to on a sudden make a poor man rich, right? But just the fact that it's that easy to go up, that also shows that it's that easy to go down. And I'm talking about according to this world. Verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life. And that's all that is. Boasting in yourself, man. People in the gyms and all that, right? When you go to a gym right now, yeah, if you go to a gym right now, what you're gonna see, men trying to trying to humbly, proudly, right, show how strong they are, trying to watch what next man lifting out the corner of their eye, but at the same time trying to pretend that they're not, getting excited if they can lift more than another guy, right? Getting sour if they find out that he lifted the same amount of weight as them but for more reps, or getting sour if he lifted a heavier weight than them for more reps, or getting sour if even though he lifted less than them, some women are still giving him more eyes than they're gave to him. And then he'll now try and show he can lift the exact same weight and think that it's not about that. It's about that she just liked that guy instead of you. But then here's the thing, ultimately, okay, that woman likes you and all that. But then when you get that woman, how long is it gonna take before she gets on your damn nerves anyway? How long is it gonna take, man? And then the women are in the gym with their whole camel toe hanging out, right? Every single woman in the gym's gotta wear booty shorts. Women are doing some crazy stretches in the gym with their damn ankles right by the side of their head. And then they're looking at people's side. They'll start looking at people sideways if they notice. But they could have did them same stretches at home. They'll pass a phone to their friend. I've seen this. I've seen it with my eyes. They'll pass a phone to their friend. Oh, record me doing this stretch here, will you? And then they're bending up and twisting up themselves. And I'm like, mate, you could have did it at home, but you wanted to do it in the gym to try and show off. But you could have did it at home though, right? You're being a hoe. And then the thing is, these women doing some of these things, just know that these women have got men. Just know that a lot of these women that are in these gym with their whole batty crease hanging out in the gym, they've got a man. These women that are going on walks in yoga pants and all that, with white socks up to the ankle, the yoga pants tucked into the socks with some New Balances on and all that, right? Or some Nikes and all that, right? Them women have got men. Just know that. Them women are not single a lot of the time. They're begging it, right? A lot of these moms, they're pushing their buggy, and you're like, raw, why is someone dressed like that, man? Because she's insecure, she thinking she lost it, she's trying to check and see if she's so-called still got it and all that, man. But a woman is not supposed to be doing that. But in this society, right, certain psychological things and all these different things that people say, right, have only occurred because we're living in this society. Like the term, oh, it's just a bit of harmless fun. No, it's sinning and going off. But in this world, you'll hear that term, oh, it's a bit of harmless fun. Or a man will be told, oh, you're insecure, right? For calling out some BS. But that's not really supposed to be happening. Because you're supposed to have a law system that stops that. And that's why our comfort and our confidence can't come from this world, man, because it's completely against what we're for. But other people, their confidence comes from this world. Like the women that commit adultery in this world, right? They do it because they know they're not going to be stoned. The men that commit adultery with another man's wife, they commit adultery because they know they're not going to be stoned to death, right? Now, they might be scared. A man might literally be scared of the man that he's sleeping with another man's wife, but he might still think, you know what, but if he unalives me, he going to jail. But if he knew that if that man unalived him, that he wasn't going to jail and that he's actually going to be justified, you think he'd commit adultery as often? You think adultery was happening, even though we've been wicked in times past and Sodom and Gomorrah existed and all that, you think in Sodom and Gomorrah, adultery was happening more in Sodom and Gomorrah than it is now? Nah. Adultery is happening way more now. In ancient Israel, when we were going off, and Jeremiah literally said, let me see if I can get that scripture. Let me see if I can get that. I think it's Jeremiah 5 and 8. Here we go. The word of Yahawah Shem Yoshai. Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 8. They were as fed horses in the morning. Everyone neighed after his neighbor's wife. Right? That's bars right there, man. Everyone neighed after his neighbor's wife. And that's how Israel do. Israel literally, when they want to try and get a woman, they'll be thinking, man, it's easier to get another man's woman. The married women are easier. And you know what the sad thing is? It's true that a married woman is easier to get than a single woman, because like they know their man now, because they so desperately desire to know him. And then now they'll think he's boring, but they were so desperate to try and know him in the first place and try and get to know everything about him. And now they'll have their eyes outwardly most than or more than single women, because they've got to still somewhat contain themselves. So then any bit of attention that they'll get, they will be more likely to try and go. And it's disgusting that that's true. But that's wicked though, right? But the adulterer and the adulteress, they get their confidence from the world that it's okay to do it. Oh, it's just a bit of light flirting. Oh, I only this, or I only talked to him, or we only went for a coffee. It's not like I did anything. Oh, it was just a kiss, or it was just a bit of fondling, or it was just, oh, he didn't pull it in the flaps, he put it in the booty hole. So the vagina is still for my husband. These are the kind of different ways that women will try and justify this stuff. Oh, he wasn't around that much, or he was working too much, so I did it. Or he wasn't nice enough to me, so I did it. They ain't knowing the scriptures that it says that that a woman could commit adultery on a man if he wasn't being nice to her. And one of the elders always goes into how in a lot of these movies, they'll make movies and show adultery, and they like have like the husband's kind of being mean to the wife in the movie, and then the other guy comes through like as a nice guy starts treating her better, and he's just seen as the evil, mean guy and all that, right? And then they'll show him him try and serenade the wife so that she can be with him. That's adultery, though. And I've seen a trend in a lot of these Christmas family movies, man, where they have like the mom got a new man, yeah, and then she's still kind of like playing the two men off between each other now. And then the dad like never shows up to the kid's dance rehearsal or something like that, or his soccer game, or his NFL, his American football game, and then oh, you never show up to my games, Dad. I hate you, or some dumb foolishness like that. He's like, oh, sorry, buddy, I was working that day, and some crap like that, right? And then the mum's like, you keep disappointing, and we're moving to Florida, or something like that, yeah. And she moved, and then he on the last thing, just as about to get to on a plane, he shows his son that he loves him, and he like falls. He's so crazy. He's prepared to drive on the damn airport tracks. And then the mom sees it, and he's like, "Oh, he really does love the kid." And he's like, "Yeah, I do love the kid, and I love you too." And then now they get back together. But what was she doing with that other man in the house before she was doing all that? While he was doing all that, how many times was she getting clapped by this other geezer committing adultery? Like, how many of these women in this world would be down to leave their man if it meant that they don't get with the next one? Okay, you don't want to be with your man right now. Okay, separate for a bit, but you're not allowed to do it with a no next geezer. Nothing with him. Or you still want to do it? I bet they wouldn't. How many men would be down to sleep with another man's wife if they saw all that the village with big 1 kilogram stones waiting? But okay, go on then. Do it then. Touch her, watch what we're gonna do to you. The moment it goes in, watch. How many of them would want to? How many thieves would want to steal if they knew that they have to pay back sevenfold? How many would want to? How many women would want to get into a fight, involved in a fight with a man, with two men, if they knew that if they accidentally or purposely grab that man by the loins, that they're gonna lose their hand? You know how much women care about their appearance. How many women want to lose their hand, man? How many want to? Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 8, there as fed horses in the morning, everyone neighed after his neighbor's wife, and adulterers feel more confident to commit adultery because we're in this world, right? Sinners feel more comfortable to do the wickedness that they do because we're in this world. Alphabeters and rainbowers feel emboldened to be an alphabeting little chichi, man, right? Because we're in this world. When we're in the kingdom, you think that these people are going to openly want to do their sins? They're still going to sin. But are they going to openly do it and be as bold about it as they do it now? Are you going to see a man just feeling bold to walk around in a dress? No, you're not. Now, he might still wear a dress, but he might do it in his house. And then someone might go past his house one day and see that he was wearing a dress and be like, nah, I'm snitching. And then they kick off the door, and then they see him in the dress, man. He's like, oh, I was just trying it on. And then his wife's there. Baby, what are you doing? That's my dress. He's like, oh, sorry, Vivian, I just didn't know. And then now they got to do what they need to do to that guy, man. But in this society, people are just bold with it. People are just bold, man. And then even in times past, people did things that were crazy bold with adultery as well, man. Like, we gotta say, King David, man, what he did with his adultery, that was bold, man. Right? That was bold to do. To set up to deal with the man's wife and then try and make the man deal with his wife, say to the man, oh, you haven't been with your wife for a while, go and be with your wife. And in my opinion, the reason why King David tried to do that is because just in case she was pregnant, it could have looked like a thing where, okay, he got her pregnant, but he said, nah, I'm not dealing with my wife because you are all going and fighting the battle, so I'm going to fight the battle too. Like, it actually was an evil thing that King David did, man, yet this is where the beauty comes in of Yahawah Shemel Shai. Yahawah had mercy on him still, right? But that don't give no one else the right to try and think that they can try and do that. Oh, King David did that, so I'm after the tender mercies of King David as well, so I'm gonna do it. Nah, you might get jacked up, man. You might get jacked up right the same day. Because you ain't King David, and neither am I. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15, and we're not Yahawah Shai neither. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away. So all the things that people gas themselves up with now, right, of this world, eventually those things are not going to matter no more. The things that people gas themselves up with now, all the different places that people can go to elevate themselves. Oh, where do you go to get your excitement? Oh, you go to arcade, or you go to a nightclub. Well, the time's gonna come where you can't go there. The time's gonna come when you want to go to these places and you can't go. Or you want to go to the bar, you ain't going to no bar. Or you want to go to a Weatherspoon, nah, you ain't going nowhere. Or you want to go to the shopping mall, the shopping mall's lock off, man, you ain't going no shopping mall. You ain't shopping nowhere. Or you want to go to the kids' soft play, you ain't going to the kids' soft play. That's closed as well, man. Or you want to go to the park. When the lockdowns came, they closed off parks, man. Now, you could still jump over the rail and still use the park anyway, but they closed that off. You couldn't just go in there. Man. And then people was on some snitching thing anyway. If people did go in there, which shows that when the MOTB thing comes, people will snitch, man. Because people are always trying to find a little chance to one up someone. So if there's a person out there that was so easy and quick to give their shoulder over, or their hand in this case, give their hand over to the MOTB system, you think that they're gonna wanna see other people saying, nah, that's the MOTB, that's the mark of the beast, I ain't taking that. They're gonna feel guilty, so they're gonna try and screw those people over. They ain't gonna want to accept that it's the mark of the beast because they've got it. So if they accept that it is the mark of the beast, that means that they're wicked. So they'd have to not accept it's the mark of the beast and try and accept that it's actually just the way forward in life. Because if they accept it's the mark of the beast, then that means that they're accepting that they're going to get the judgment for receiving the mark of the beast. And who the hell wants to do that? Nobody. Nobody wants to accept that they're going to get the judgment for taking the mark of the beast. I know I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to believe that. Just like how Esau right now doesn't want to believe that he's going to get Obadiah 1 and 18, but he's going to though. And the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. So our confidence that we have, that's going to be a thing that's going to abide forever, man. But these people that all up heavy into the world and that they get all their confidence and all their ego from the world, like everything that they do is because this society exists. They've got an attitude when they walk outside because this society exists, whereas we might have boldness when we go outside because we believe that Yahawah is with us, right? But they've got a confidence and a cockiness and an ego because they might think they got a good job, or they might be on their way to getting a good job, right? They might be doing the training, they might be on a course, and they're thinking, after this course, I'm going to be making 27% more than I was making last year. So I'm in an excellent position, right? They might not be feeling the consequences of or feeling the effects of inflation yet, so they're feeling themselves, right? They might have a few women on the go at one time, so they're feeling themselves, right? They might have a nice car, and when they drive down and they overpress on the accelerator, people all looking like, oh wow, that's a cracking car, mate, excellent car. Yeah, it's a 2 V12, V12, Me12, D12. Excellent engine, 2 exhaust power, have 25 horsepower, 2,000 milligrams of horsepower on that engine. Whatever the hell they're going to say, man. It's a 2-valve, 25,000 cylinder. And then they're just boasting on all the cars, excellent part. Oh yeah, it's got rear view tints, rear view cameras, video cameras, self-driving, self-sustained. Then they're just saying all the cars' accolades, right? They're getting their praise from the world, right? And when the time comes, like there's a good scene, man, in the movie 666, What is the Mark Unleashed, right? I believe that's what the movie's called, 666, What is the Mark Unleashed? And it's got Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it, the guy that plays Negan in The Wire. And it's got one of the, I forget what the family name is, man. But there's a scene anyway where there's a Jake rolling around in his car. I think it's like some Porsche or something like that. So that's probably that's like an Anton Daniels kind of guy, and he's driving in his car with the top down. I think he is in a convertible. And he's like driving, laughing at all these people that are walking, but he's right next to them and just laughing at them. calling people bums and all this, laughing at people, beeping the horn to try and get them out of the way, right? And then people just start punching him up and drag him out of his car, and they steal his car, and he's at the roadside, black eyes and all that, right? But he was trusted in his wealth. But when a situation happens where all hell breaks loose, that wealth puts a target on your head, man. Because in a time where people don't have to pay for things and they can steal now, that puts a target on your back. It doesn't allow you to just be able to walk all over people like you used to. No, now they might walk over your ass, right? Now they might walk over you, man. There's a lot of people that they don't feel like they got a fair shake from this society. And when all hell breaks loose, they're going to be trying to get every single thing that they think they missed out on, man. They were like, oh, the theme park's finally open for us rejects. And they're going to lose their minds chasing all the things that they think that they never got to experience, man. And they're going to be angry with all the people that they always seem to be able to always have it. And now it's not going to seem as though, like, it's not going to seem like some of the people that was able to have it because they was able to trade money for it, now ain't going to be able to just enjoy those things no more, because all the rejected people, the crazy ass people that was never able to get access to these things, they're going to be showing up now. So you ain't going to want to be there because it's not going to be safe for you. That's what's going to be happening, man. Now, to a certain degree, some people with their wealth are going to be able to get to completely different locations that they cannot be around certain people. But some people have got good amounts of money, but they still live around people that don't have good amounts of money anyway. And the thing that keeps them feeling safe is the law. But the law is not like what is the law made up of? Several individual humans that form a group. But once every individual human is being attacked personally, that grouping now no longer exists, because they've all got to try and sort out their personal needs first, right? They got to sort out their personal needs. So they ain't got the time now to try and take care of the whole thing, because they're too busy worrying about their own portion. You see what I mean? That's how it goes, man. Now, people don't believe this, but they're going to live to see it, though. They're going to live to see it, man. Like, our confidence don't come from this place. It couldn't. This place can't give us confidence, man, because it's not for us, man. We're not winning down here. There might be a brother and all that, a man, brothers, people that believe in the Lord, that they got a decent job, man. They got a decent, high-paying job. They got a decent house, like a nice house and all that. But they still ain't winning there, because really, even though they've got that in this society, if there was an Edomite with the same amount of talent that they got now, they'd have 10 times more. Okay, he makes, let's say a man makes 6 figures right now, right? And he nice stuff and that. If he was an Edomite in this society, he'd have his own business, and there wouldn't be no restrictions to make it more difficult for him. And he'd probably be a millionaire if he was an Edomite. Or let's say that there was a Jake that believes in Yahawah, and there's a millionaire, right? In the kingdom, there'd be a billionaire then. They'd have way more, man. Like even a certain brothers and men and all that, well, brothers that believe in Yahawah, and they've got certain talents and all that, right? That they can't really do nothing with the talent. But if there was an Edomite, they'd be able to take out loans and start up businesses. But they wouldn't even want to dare try and take out a loan, because they know they don't trust in the society anyway. But let's say that they did, it wouldn't go for them anyway, man. It wouldn't go the same way without them maybe knowing somebody that knows the deep intricacies of the business and helping them like do loads of things, and then it's a one-off. This world don't go the same way for us as it does for them, man. But when we say that, people are like, oh, you just got a chip on your shoulder. Yeah, whatever. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahawah is his treasure. That's where we're getting our confidence from. The fear of Yahawah, that, man, okay, we've did wickedness. We know that we are not perfect, but we're scared that the day of the Lord's coming, and we don't want to die in that time. We don't want to be destroyed with these people when this time comes, man. We want some mercy, man. That's ultimately the thing that we're trying to do. We're hoping for some mercy, man. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 3, seek ye Yahawah, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahawah's anger. And that's what we're hoping for, man. But we know that the day of the Lord's coming. And we're desperately desiring that when it does come, that we don't get messed up with these people, man. That we don't think the day of the Lord's not gonna come. We know that the MOTB is gonna be made mandatory. So no matter what you think you have right now, in order to maintain it, even if you did get something, you would need to take the MOTB to keep it. So what's the point? We know that, okay, let's say you got a woman or whatever, and you got children and all that. All right, what if your woman and your children take the MOTB then? What then? If everything you do is about your woman and your children, right? Okay, what if they take the MOTB then now what? What now? Are you gonna take it? Because your children have took it. Once if your children take the MOTB and your woman takes the MOTB, can you really even say that it would be a good idea to even still be around them anymore? You know what I mean? Or are they a risk of are they a risk now of trying to make you take it? Come on, honey. We've all took it. Come on, honey. And she's out there massaging your shoulders, rubbing on your chest like she knows you like. Do you know what I mean? Kissing on your neck. Come on, babes. Kissing all on you, trying to get you to take the MOTB. What you gonna do? You gonna take it? What you gonna do? When your children are crying, Daddy, Daddy, come on, just take it. It didn't even hurt. It didn't even hurt that much, Daddy. What you gonna do? You gonna take it? And this is a hard thing to accept, man, because Israelite men, like the people trying to put that stigma out there, like, the so-called black man doesn't love his children. That's bullshit. The Israelite man is one of the people that love their children the most, man, and deal with the most bullshit when it comes to their children, man. Israelite men love their children, man. If they have children, they love their children. But what if your children take the MOTB? Then what, man? What if they take the MOTB and they tell you right to your face, Dad, you're crazy, Dad. I don't like you. This is why Mama left you, because you crazy. Just take the MOTB, Dad. Or they say, Dad, just take the MOTB so we can all be together as a family. You, me, Mom, my sister, and she's just. What about that? What about if your own son called the police on you, called the authorities on you because you didn't take the MOTB? How's that gonna make you feel, man? Because it could happen. How's that gonna make you feel? Huh? How is that gonna make you feel, man? We don't get our confidence from this world, man. We can't, man. We can't afford to be getting our confidence from this world, man. We're in an unfair situation where we can't be in the same mindset of these people, man. We can't even judge people just purely by color. We ain't even. It's unfair for us right now. But it's gonna be so fair for us in the kingdom that who cares about all the unfair that it is for us now? Although it's annoying though. But we can't even just judge people purely based on color. We can't see every single so-called white person and be like, you damn devil. Now, most of them are damn devil, but we can't treat every single so-called white person that we see like they're an Edomite, man. If they've remained neutral to us and haven't been bugged out, right, then we don't have to always assume that they're an Edomite. We don't have to assume that they're an Israelite neither, but it's like, all right, let's see more. Let's see more then. Because even certain people that look like us, they're Edomites, man. Luke chapter 21 and verse 15, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist, and you shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, right? But there shall not an head of your hair perish. So imagine if you end up in a concentration camp and your own son or daughter put you there, man. You know how fathers will feel about their daughter if they got one. They don't want their daughter to be no harlot. They care about their daughter not being a harlot more than the mother cares. Right? They care about their son growing up to be better than them. Imagine if your children ended up putting you in, being the reason why you ended up in a concentration camp, man. I remember I watched the anime, which is a very good one, by the way, if people are into that. Attack on Titan, right? And it's been out for a long time and now anyway, but spoiler alert if you ain't watched it. But in Attack on Titan, there's these people called what are they called, man? What are they called, man? But there was a secret group anyway of certain people, right, that wanted to try and rebuild up their kingdom, right? I think it was Eldian restorationists or something like that, right? And the father was telling his son all the history of their people and all that, right? And how they need to build up their people again. But there was telling it amongst some other people called Marleyans. and the son ended up basically snitching on his father and causing for his father and his mother to get sent to a wall to be executed, man. Right? He ended up causing for that to happen. Now later on, he ended up being about for his own people to a certain degree, anyway. But like, he caused for that to happen to his parents. He snitched, man, because he thought that his dad was crazy. I was like, man, what are you on about? Like, I like these people. He didn't want to believe that him and his people was in captivity under these people, and that them being told that they're going to be honorary Marleyans, which would be the same thing as Jake right now, where they might be called Hellenized, and all that. But you're not really a Greek though, but you're Hellenized. But they'll somewhat treat you like you're the same, but you have to do way more. That's how Jake's in a situation like that now. But they had that situation in that show anyway, man. And I only brought that up to go into how we can be betrayed by people that we know, man. Imagine if your mom or your dad ends up causing for you to be put in a concentration camp, man. Like, a lot of our moms and fathers are gonna take the MOTB, man. A lot of our brothers and sisters, they're gonna take it, man. What if your favorite uncle calls you to take it? I mean, cause for you to put in a concentration camp, or snitches, or all your family try and corner you and say, "Yo, just take it, man. All of us have took it. Just take it, man. Stop talking all this Bible stuff and all this MOTB thing. Just take it." What if your own family try and betray you like that and try and, you know what I mean? What if, man? They might have already tried to corner you off and try talking about why you believe in the Bible like this. You're wasting your talents. They might have already tried all that, man. Verse 18, but there shall not a hair of your head perish. So some of these things might happen, but if you're really of the elect, nothing's going to happen from the situation anyway, man. And if we are in a situation where we have to be offered the MOTB, we already know what way out we've got, man. Revelation 20:4, the believers being beheaded for not wanting to take the MOTB, man. Some of us are going to be prepared to go through that. So what? What's so great about our lives anyway that we'd be missing out on if that was to happen right now? To be honest with you, like, is your life really that great anyway right now? To be honest with you, like, is it? Not really, is it? Like, have a look around your environment right now. Is it really that great? And let's say you say, yeah, it is. Or it could be worse, which it could be worse. But then here's the thing, it could be better. And in the kingdom, it would be better. That's the thing about it. In the kingdom, it would be better. So what can we really gas ourselves up with here anyway? Nothing, man. Now, women and Esau and proud-ass people in the world, they can try and boast in bare things in this world, man. But we as Israelite men, really, what can we be boasting in around here, man? What can we be boasting in? What can we be boasting? Oh, I've got a job that pays all the bills. Okay. All right. Is that something to boast in, though? Because you have here's the thing, you've got bills. That's not going to be a thing that we're going to have to worry about in the kingdom. Bills. You think an Israelite man's going to have to be worried about bills in the kingdom? Or I've got payments coming out every week. I've got to make sure that the money's in my account. Mate, you think we're going to have to worry about stuff like that in the kingdom? That's going to be so far from our mind, worrying about having to pay something off every month. We're going to be paid off in the kingdom. We're going to be debt free, man. The first debt being our debt to Yahawah of sinning. Our sins are going to be forgiven and forgotten. We ain't going to have to worry about none of that kind of stuff, man. We ain't going to have to worry about that in the kingdom. Verse 19, in your patience possess ye your souls. Right? Our confidence don't come from this world, man, and it couldn't really. Our confidence couldn't come from this place, man, because what do we have to be confident about down here anyway? Oh, you've got a woman that's pretty. Okay. Was she a virgin when you got with her, though? No, she weren't. So that's used property, and I ain't trying to say this to bun no one out. Like, it's used property. And whenever she feels like it, how often does she bug out and get on your damn nerves? So, like, either way it goes, like, what can we boast in down here, man? What can we boast in, man? Like, this is what we can't get our confidence from this place, man. The world gets its confidence from this place, though. We can't. And that's why the world often does boast about certain things in this world, but we can't do that though. We don't have the same pleasures and boasting as these people in the world, man. And that's why when Babylon the Great gets destroyed, we ain't going to be the people that are crying. Let's get this scripture. We ain't going to be the people that are crying, man. We might hiss at the plagues, like, but we ain't going to be the people that are crying. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahawah avenged you on her. We're going to be happy, man. We're going to celebrate, man. We're going to be grateful that Yahawah did that, right? Lord willing, we're going to be looking from that sea of glass, running Babylon out, man, laughing at Revelation chapter 15 and verse 1, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the image of his, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Yahawah, and they sing the song of Moses, the servant of Yahawah, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord Yahawah Almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of Saints. That's the things that we're going to be saying when we see Babylon the Great be destroyed. But there's going to be other people that got their boast from this world, right? Which America is pretty much the idol of this world. It's the golden cup that made all these people drunken. And this is what they're going to be saying. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 9, and the kings of the earth, who have committed fornication and live deliciously with her, they live excellent lives of America, man, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. But on the other side, there's going to be Israelites that are praising the Lord when they see the smoke of the burning, because their boast didn't come, they didn't get their power from America. But these kings of the earth, they got their power from America because they was committing fornication with it, man. Living deliciously with it. They was getting a whole influx of billions of pounds a year because America existed. This place that just loved whatever they had. Standing afar off for fear of a torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth the merchandise anymore. So they're going to be crying because America's destroyed, because people ain't buying the goods no more. Not because they really miss America, but they're still going to be people that trusted in this world, though. And I'm like, man, America allowed us to have all of this, but now who's going to buy it now? And then miracles are going to happen. The ICBMs being shut off, and then miracles where all the elect that was there have been beaten up. Right? That's also gonna be on these people's mind, man. They're gonna see that certain people didn't get destroyed in America's destruction, but America's destroyed, man. And then they're gonna also know that, man, we're through as well, and that we shouldn't have destroyed America, because that UFO thing that just came and discovered all these black people, Latinos, and Native Americans out of that land wouldn't have came if we didn't shoot these ICBMs. Like, what the hell was that? What the hell was that UFO thing that came? That big, huge UFO thing that came and saved all these people. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? That's what's going to be on these people's mind, as well as all of this stuff. This stuff's going to cross their mind, but not many minutes afterwards or hours afterwards, some other things are going to be crossing their mind, man. Like, man, we're through. We're going into captivity. But while the Israelites are up in the chariots being changed by the Lord Yahawah, these people are going to have their little thoughts, because some of these people might be so dumb that they think, man, okay, the Israelites have gone to heaven. They have gone to heaven to live out in the heaven now. And now the world's ours, and it's about whoever's next to rule. Some of them people might be arrogant enough to think that because they don't know the prophecies. They might, although it's going to be something crazy that they see, they might still think, oh, but yeah, they've gone to heaven, because they might believe some bugged out thing that Christians said. Oh yeah, the 144,000 are taken to heaven, and then the rest of the world belongs to everyone else. Yeah, whatever, man. Y'all, that's not what's going to be happening. New Jerusalem is going to come down, right? That's what that's talking about. A new version of Israelite that the world has not seen before. Verse 12, the merchandise of gold and silver. In fact, I don't want to read that part right now. Verse 15, and the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. All the people that had all these little different trinkets in the world, right, are going to be mourning because America does not exist anymore. And it can't buy. They can't buy these things no more. Just like how several people are going to be mourning because they always wanted to go America. Like when the World Cup happened, people was just like, man, I can't believe they got ranch. Wow. And they got American dressing. Like they got ranch. Wow, the burgers. Look at the size portions. Wow, guys, white guys, £15. This is like, this could feed a family of 5. This. Wow, they give refills. Wow, this is just wow. And ranch, mate, ranch and Popeyes, mate. Popeyes is just excellent, mate. I can't get enough of Popeyes. Wow, Taco Bell's just excellent. Like, wow. And these are literally just fast food joints. But you people are coming over here gassed up off of fast food. That's not even gourmet eating. It's fast food, man. Those are the worst food chains, man. But y'all are getting gassed. Oh, guy, wait, I went and bought a pancake. So this is what people eat for breakfast? They don't have beans on toast? Yeah, this is what we eat for breakfast in America. Wow, wait, wow. This is excellent. No wonder y'all are Americans in America. People are gassing up America, man. But as much as them people gassed up America, it ain't going to stop them from hitting it with the ICBMs, though. It ain't going to stop the elites of these other countries being like, you know what, America's the problem. We have to hit it with the ICBMs. We have to. Right? We have to. Otherwise, it's going to hit us with the ICBMs. They're doing too much. But here's the thing that they don't seem to realize. America is the source of their power. Yahawah didn't set up nowhere else that Esau is going to make to be the golden cup that's going to make the world drunken. America's the last thing. So when they destroy America, they are ultimately destroying their control over the world, right? They ain't going to, like China thinks that it's going to be next on that. No, the reason why America had so much power is because it had the Israelites in slavery. So if China was to try and become the next superpower, then they would have to do some kind of Atlantic slave trade and control the Israelites' whole way of mind, like how America did it. America pretty much controls the overall mind of what the 2/3 of Israel think. They don't control the elect, but they control the minds of the non-elect, though. They're the guidance of what a so-called black person is in this world, really. America pretty much decides what the so-called black man's image is amongst the non-elect, right? That's just the facts. So if some next place was to try and want to think that they're going to rise up, that's what they would have to do. But Yahawah isn't set nowhere else to be that, though. He set up Babylon the Great to be the golden cup in his hand that he made the earth drunken with. And when all these other nations destroy that place, they're destroying the thing that made the world drunken. So the world's going to wake up once America's destroyed, and they're going to realize, man, what the hell was we doing? They're going to mourn America for it being destroyed, but they're also going to be like, man, and you know why I'm saying it? Let me read this. Pardon me. This is why I'm saying it, man. This is the scripture that makes me say this all the time, man. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency. The Chaldees was like the elite level wisdom and wise people, man. When you look it up, the elite, the main place of Esau's glory right now on this earth is America. But then America is also the golden cup in Yahawah's hand that he made the world drunken with. So when it's destroyed, people are not going to be drunk no more. They're going to wake up from all the witchcraft that America put on it. And the people are going to actually have to consider, okay, if America was everything that it said it was, then how did it end up like what it ended up like then? Because people always end up really, after a person lives their life, right? People end up, a lot of the time, end up looking at what their end result was, man. And they're like, man, I don't want to end up like that. While a person's life flowing and going, okay, people might be jealous, but then when people actually see the end result, that's what truly makes them decide if they want that person's life. So when people see the end result of America, they're gonna be like, man, I don't want it. I don't want that for my people. And they're gonna know that the reason why this happened to America is because of what they did to the Israelites, man. They're gonna know that. They're gonna know that this is a heavenly judgment because heavenly things are gonna happen when this place gets destroyed. They're gonna literally see a big, large UFO flown by Yahawah save the elected nation of Israel. And then Yahawah is going to be there having war with them after that. Like, how could they not believe that it's because of her heavenly things when they see what has happened? How could they not believe it's heavenly judgment? They're going to see it. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahawah's hand. that have made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken over wine, therefore the nations are mad. But once America's destroyed, they're gonna sober up, man. Let's say you got one off license in your neighborhood and it burnt down, right? And everyone got their alcohol from there, mate. They're gonna sober up. And if that off license was serving them dirty alcohol, right? They're gonna be like, man, good. Eventually, we're like, good that place is burnt down, but they're gonna sober up. That's the point I'm making. They're gonna sober up once that place is no longer existing. They're gonna sober up, man. And these nations are gonna sober up when America's destroyed. They're gonna sober up, man. They're gonna be like, man, hey. And when they see what Esau looks like after they sober up, they're gonna be looking at Esau and now they're like, man, is this the man? Is this the man that was doing all that foolishness? Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 4. In fact, verse 3, and it shall come to pass in the day that Yahawah shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? And that's like one of the elders always says that he's going, when he gets these Edomites in the kingdom, he's going to ask them about their high IQ, right? Well, that's this prophecy. If he was to actually do that, which I think that he might, right? But let's say he was to, that would be this prophecy getting fulfilled, right? If he was to say to them, how is it that you got this high IQ and yet you're not able to put us in captivity no more? How? If he does that, and when he does that, he's fulfilling this prophecy. But either way it's going to go, whatever the words, physical words are going to be that we say to the Edomites when we're over them, right? Okay, so you so-called white people said you're not Edomites, right? So explain to us how you are in the situation that you're in now. Explain it. And they're not going to have anything to say. They ain't going to say, oh, shut up, nigga. They ain't going to say that. They ain't going to say, and if they, you know what? We might actually want them to be rebellious in the first bit of time, man. Like to just see Esau go from as proud as he is now to when we get them in the kingdom, they're just humble. We want to see him talking smack, man. We want to see him rebellious and still thinking about, man, get off me. I want a latte. I want an iced latte, vanilla mocha, blueberry in it. I want a blueberry latte matcha. Get off me. Yeah, I want to speak to the manager. We want to see that. What was that Dave Chappelle show where she said, I want to speak to the manager, and the Mexican, the Latino Jake, and that he said, he span around and said, bitch, I am the manager. That's what we're going to be on, man. Like, we want Esau being Karen's. We want to see that Karen spirit in the kingdom, man. We're going to want to see that. We eat, man. As much as we get on Eve, man, and I get on Eve heavy, right? Eve's going to get revenge on all the women of all the other nations in the kingdom, and she's going to be the finest woman too. Like, there's men right now that they deal with Edomite women and that, right? In the kingdom, them same men might not even ever touch an Edomite woman, man. They might not even touch one. They might never deal with an Edomite woman ever. Because what would be their need? What would be their need to, other than to rub it in Esau's face? Other than that, what would be their need to, man? Other than to make sure that Esau don't get to deal with the finest women of his nation. That could be a reason why. But other than that, like, what would be the need? Because the finest woman is going to be the Israelite woman anyway. Okay, for variety, all right. But there's going to be variety amongst the Israelite women as well. Right? There's going to be variety amongst all the women of all the other nations too. So some Israelite men might not even ever deal with an Edomite woman in the kingdom, man. All the way up to the 1,000 years when now they never get the chance to ever deal with an Edomite woman again. Where some men might deal with Edomite women. That's going to be off their own thing. It doesn't make them righteous or wicked based on whatever choice goes. It doesn't make them more righteous or more wicked if they do or don't. It's just going to be of their own choice. Back to verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Yahawah have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, and the main scepter of the rulers is America. It's the golden cup in Yahawah's hand that makes the world drunken. Football, right? It's called football. It's not called soccer. Football does not normally have a halftime show. But when it came to the World Cup, you had iShow Speed sitting down on some mat. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Cause this is the World Cup. But mate, you don't have that in the World Cup normally. You had Justin Bieber with a guitar. You know what I mean? You had Shakira, right? You had all of this. You had what is it? Burna Boy. Burna Boy was trying to get a wine from Shakira and that, and she weren't really going for it. But you had all that. You had all that, man. That don't happen in football normally. They just give them the rest, get back on the pitch, lads, and go and play. But when it came to like they don't even normally have like a round of 32 and all that. They had a round of if I'm not mistaken, but they had a round of 32 where now they made the third worst player teams all go in as well. But they don't normally do that, so the World Cup lasted longer than it normally does because of this, right? They changed all the rules, and why did they change? Because it's America. America's the Golden Cup, man. They change certain rules and certain things that they do because America was where the location of it was. Babylon the Great, man. Then you had, then you had Trump or Mr. 47 all up in the framework, taking a picture with the Spanish team and all that, right? Taking like he flipping overturned the red card, didn't he? He overturned the red card. Oh, we looked, and yeah, it wasn't good. So we decided to change. They did all kind of things, man, that they don't normally do in football. But that just shows that America is Babylon the Great. Because the next World Cup if there was to be a next World Cup before the Kingdom comes, they ain't gonna do none of that. I guarantee they ain't gonna have a halftime show now in football as a standard thing. They just took on the American spirit, man, where they do all that halftime show stuff and all that, man. Football don't normally have no halftime show. So them players got bare rest that they don't normally have. They got like an extra half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever rest. Football players don't normally get that much rest in between halves, man. That's not normal for football, right? And I never watched under the World Cup, by the way, but I saw that halftime show thing having ISO speed, which ISO speed, in my opinion, anyway, this is just my opinion. ISO speed looks like what Michael Jackson was supposed to look like, man. In my opinion, ISO speed looks like Michael Jackson, and he has got talent, man. He's got a lot of athletic talent, that guy, man. A lot. He's got a lot of athletic talent, man. More than a lot of these other streamers, anyway. He's actually got some kind of thing that shows that, okay, I can somewhat understand why this guy's famous, but he's still hated. He still have all these dirty, filthy heathens giving him bananas, right? Being racist to him and all that, right? But then at the same time, they're wanting to be around him. They're taking time out of their day to be around him, and that's Esau. As much as they hate us, they don't try and go out of their way to not be around us, man. Or they're always watching what we do. They can't help it, man. They're obsessed. Let's carry on. Verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, that's America. He's persecuted and unhindered, but it's America. But it's America through Esau doing it, though. The earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into the singing. And the reason why people are going to be breaking forth into singing, because America's destroyed, man. So, okay, people are going to be mourning. But then at the same time, the elect, beginning with the elect, they're going to be celebrating, man. And the people are going to realize that Esau's oppressive power is taken away once America's destroyed, man. Like, there's going to be literally a spiritual shift when you see America get destroyed, man. Every single Edomite is going to be spiritually weakened, and we're going to feel it, man. We're going to feel that, right? And Lord will, we're going to be on the chariots, and we're going to feel that spiritual shift, man. All the heathens that are going to be down on the earth, they're going to feel that spiritual shift. There's going to be a lot of battles going on, right? At a time when Yahawah returns. So at a time when America gets destroyed, there's going to be a lot of battles that were going on, civil wars and all that kind of stuff. Esau is going to be weakened once America gets destroyed, man. What if there was winning down here on the earth in a certain civil war or whatever? They're going to start losing. It's my opinion that they'll start losing, man, because they've spiritually been weakened by America getting destroyed. America is literally an idol. It's not just a country, it's an idol, man. A lot of things were done at the time of America being built on the left-hand side that show it's an idol, man. It's an idol. It's not just a country. That place is an idol. Even its dollar bill and all that, like, it's an idol, man. That place is an idol. It's not just a country. It's a hub of wickedness, man. It's spirits connected to this place. Verse 8, yea, the fire trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow come up against us. No fellow is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And that's what people are going to be able to say to Esau when they see America get destroyed, man, because it's going to cause for Esau to be physically weakened, man. Esau is going to be physically weakened at the destruction of America, man. And all the people that trusted in America, they're going to be spiritually weakened too. All the people that were proud of America, right? Like all these women that want to try and be on this American Babylonian stuff and that, yeah. And they want to try and go from America. They do it. They like Eve, man. Like Eve will not be able to get a so-called black man that she likes in America, right? Then she might hear that so-called black men are going to Thailand, right, to get women, and she'll think, well, those so-called black men must have some money in order to even be able to go over to Thailand, and then she might have some money, and then she'll try and go from America to Thailand now, thinking that she's going to get treated the same in America as she does in Thailand, and the Jakes will be ignoring her. Now she's going to get on the camera. Could you at least say hello or not? But they don't just feel like they need to say that when they're in America to Jake, though. They don't feel like they should just be obligated to say, be nice to men in their life, man. Or they might go to Dubai, try and act crazy as hell as they do in America and get arrested, man. Get put in jail. Because America allows the women to act a certain way, but other places in the world don't allow women to go on like that. Even the 304s in the UK don't be able to get away with as much as they get away with in America. When they're trying to sell their bodies to mans, right? The price they can't even try and put the price as high as the hoes in America can. They'll have to go to America to do that, right? They can't try and do that over in the UK because it's different, man. They can't try and be on the whole putting men on child support thing over in the UK because it's not the same. The UK doesn't have a system like that where women could even try and do all of that, man. That whole scam that women try and do of the getting pregnant thing is completely different than it is anywhere else, man. Well, different in the UK than it is in America anyway. Let's carry on. Verse 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. When America gets destroyed, man, a lot of this Edomite pride is going to be destroyed, man. Because they all know deep down, like the main people that was even praising up America on the videos when they went and talking about how good it is and all that was Edomites, really. Other Edomites from different places in the world. And they was thinking, man, when they were saying all these things, I was thinking, man, us so-called white people really are great. Because look at how great America is. We really are fascinating. But that's how we're going to think in the kingdom when we see Jerusalem. Because Jerusalem is going to be the headquarters of the earth. And when we see Jerusalem, we're like, man, look at how amazing us Israelites are, man. Just look at Jerusalem. Just look at how beautiful it is. And of all the different planets that we ever go to, Jerusalem still is the most like the Garden of Eden. Even though when we go to Mars, we see that Israelites can produce beautiful things over there as well. But man, look at how beautiful it is when we go to Israel, though. How when we go to Jerusalem, just look at how beautiful it is. That's not what people are saying about America right now. I mean, about Israel right now, which proves that the children of Israel are not the ones in charge of that place. Because the main place of praise in this world is America. But if the real Israelites was on the earth, then the main place of praise would be Israel. Right? That place is going to be made like the Garden of Eden. But people would be more likely to try and say that America's like the Garden of Eden in this world than that Israel is. Verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And that's what people are going to be saying about America, man. These things are all going to be said to America first, then they're going to be applied to Esau in general. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall never look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Is this America, man? Look at it. And then look at these Edomites, look at them. Are these the people that was making the earth like this? Look at them. Now, when we actually see how frail they are, we're gonna be scared of Yahawah. That he was able to make such scumbag looking idiots be in such a position of power over us, man. It's gonna be terrifying. That made the earth as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners. All the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory, everyone in his own house. And what's that going into? That's going into how after the 1,000 years of captivity, the other nations are going to finally realize, man, yeah, the Israelites are supposed to be in power, you know. Because here's the thing right now. Even if I was not an Israelite, yeah, I would still want the Israelites to be in power, just so that I can have a better life, man. So that I can live in a world that's got justice. Because I believe that the laws of Yahawah are justice. And if I can believe that now as an Israelite, well, then the heathens are going to believe that as heathens. That, okay, they're not in charge, right? But they're still living in a fair world, though. They'll be able to stomach that. Because right now, they know they're not in charge. And they're under Esau's world that's not fair. And they're trying to justify that. These nations right now try and justify living in Esau's world that's not fair. So how much more will they be able to justify living under us when it is fair for them? Okay, we're not in charge, but if someone steals from us, don't the Israelites make them have to pay? Don't we get justice if someone does something? Okay, we're not in charge and we have to pay tribute to these Israelites, but whenever something goes wrong, don't they fix it? And when we do the right things, don't we receive good? We receive good from the Israelites. So shall we not receive evil? That's how they're going to be talking about us. Like how we talk about Yahawah, man. And it's all going to go back to bringing praise to Yahawah B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. We're going to be like a Yahawah over these nations when I think about it in my mind. Because we're going to be monitoring them. Like how Yahawah used to monitor us. Yahawah's not going to need to physically step in because we're going to all individually be a small miniature version of Yahawah and Yahweh Shai. Right? We're going to have all the laws and be perfect. We're going to be an image of Yahawah's own immortality. And we're going to be able to monitor these people, man. We're going to be able to watch them. We're going to be justified in everything that we do according to the law because we have the law within us through the new covenant. Verse 19, but thou art cast out like an abominable branch, and the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet, meaning that Esau isn't going to be able to just be like, okay, the Israelites are in charge now, we accept that, because they're not going to accept it anyway, but Yahweh set in prophecy that Esau gets destroyed after this. When it's finally all said and done, Esau gets destroyed. They don't get to enjoy the kingdom. They get to undo all the wickedness and destruction that they did to the planet Earth, which was our gift given to us from the Lord. And then they get to get out of here and get lost, man. They don't get to enjoy this. Verse 20, thou shalt not be joined with them in burial. You don't get a chance to be buried and be resting like how every other nation is going to know. You get to get out of here, man. Goodbye. Right? Because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people, which that's what they're going to do when they shoot them ICBM. So why should they get some settling off now when you destroyed your own people with the ICBMs and when you destroyed America? It's going to mainly be Esau shooting ICBMs at America because they're the main people that have them. So why should you now get to enjoy? You slain your own people. You destroyed your own land. You destroyed your main place of power, America. You destroyed your own land. You stole it, right? So it became yours. That in your mind, you destroyed your own land. So why do you now think that you get to get your own thing? Why do you think you get another chance? The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. You're never gonna get a chance to be like, okay, that's the greatest. What's the term, man? Like a rags to riches story. It's not even that. It's like in TV shows, man, where a character's not liked and then they turn it around at the end. Esau's never gonna get a chance to do that. Where he made himself be likable at the end. Nah. I can't remember what the term is in TV shows where that happens, man. Where a character wasn't liked and then they do certain things to later make you like them, man. I forget the term. but you might know it out there, so you'll know what I'm talking about anyway while listening. Verse 21, prepare that his children for slaughter. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Now, prepare slaughter for his children, if in the context of what I'm saying, for the iniquity of their fathers, the initial batch of Edomites at that time that are going to get Obadiah 1 and 18, they're not going to be the same initial batch of Edomites that are around now. Now, through reincarnation, they might be the same spirits, but they're not going to know that they did those things, right? Exactly that. And some of them are going to not be the same Edomites, but they're still going to get Obadiah 1 and 18 for what the Edomites that are in the time that we're living in now are going to do, man. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. What's going to be one of the iniquities of their fathers? That Edomites destroyed other Edomites during World War III. That's going to be one of it, man. That they unalived so many people and that they unalived loads of Israelites and destroyed their own land. They destroyed the main thing that kept their nation going, which is America. As much as they don't want to accept it, America's the main thing, the best thing that Esau's got going for him. Without America, you Edomites are nothing, man. Where are you going to get your praise? From the UK? You think you're going to get your praise from London? You think you Edomites are going to be able to show how great you are with London? Nah. Oh, is there somewhere in Spain you think you're going to show? What, are you going to show some baguette bread in France? Is that what you're going to show? Nah. It's America. America is the place that you Americans get, that you Edomites get your praise, man. And mainly because you've got some of the best Israel and most talented Israelites over there. And you use them to bring praise to yourself. It's not because of America, though. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Like, get rid of these Edomites, because they, back in times past, 1,000 years ago, they caused all this distress in the world, and we don't want these Edomites to be able to have a chance to do this stuff again. And we know that they still have not changed, even though all this stuff happens, because they can't change. Can they also do good that are accustomed to do evil? No, they can't. Verse 22, for I rise up against them, saith Yahawah of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and the remnant, and the son, and the nephew, saith Yahawah. I will also make it a possession for the bitten and pools of water. I will sweep it with the besom of destruction. Yahweh's going to jack that place up, man. He's going to mash it up and brock it up, man. And this is why our praise can't come from this world, because we're seeking for something that doesn't even exist right now yet. But all the world, they get their praise from this place, man. And that's why when you see these people going on proud, yeah, and you're thinking, yeah, the only reason why you're doing it, though, is because this society still exists, because if it didn't, you wouldn't try and go on like that. The way we see some of these people try and go on, they wouldn't try and go on like that if this society didn't exist. Like, even just the way these people have their nice car and all that, right? When the gas thing was going on and the oil thing was going on, these people were bugging out, man. People was pulling out blades. People was cutting the queue, right? To try and get petrol and all that. People was doing a madness, right? And people was trying to bully others, and then finding out that, nah, you ain't going to be doing no bullying, though. People was following around oil tankers. He was doing all kinds of stuff, man. People was doing a lot. Because really, for most people, your car gets fueled every week, right? The car has about, 400 miles in there? You got 400 miles on a full tank? Okay. How long is that going to last you, really? Depending on how much you drive in a day. Maybe 2 weeks that can last you. 2 weeks of going to and from work, maybe. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. Like, our praise anyway, and our glory, like I was saying before, doesn't come from this world, man. And let me get one more scripture to end on, because it's a good scripture to bring out when you bring up this topic. Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 23, thus saith Yahawah, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and know of me, that I am Yahawah, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth, for in these do I delight, saith Yahawah. Right? That's what we're hoping for. We're hoping to glory in Yahawah, but these people in the world, they glory in things that are inwardly in them, right? That the world praises. The only reason why people will glory in their might is because the world praises might. Get 22-inch arms right now and start flexing them all the time. People are gonna like that. Get in shape as a Jake right now, and people are gonna start treating you differently. I've seen it when I've got in shape, man, and I didn't even have no 22-inch arms, but I've seen how people be trying to treat you differently as a Jake, man. Or if you wear nicer clothes as a Jake, man, you start getting treated differently. Just buy a new pair of trainers, man, and you start getting treated differently. Just something as simple as that, and people start treating you differently, man. Like the world just start, and I personally find it disgusting how that's actually a reality, but it's a reality though. That the world treats you way differently based on whatever trinkets it thinks you have, man. You look like you've got money, and you're going to be treated way differently than if you look like you don't have money. Look like you've got money, and you're a simp, and you're going to be spending it out, and then you'll see how different you'll get treated as well. You might get treated badly by men, but you'll be treated better by women though. But then if you get in shape, men might start treating you better because they think, man, if I mess with this guy, he'll go and twist my neck off. But then that's fake, because why wouldn't they treat you nicely or with a certain level of respect? Just if you're a normal man, normal looking man walking down the street, why were they trying to approach you with an attitude then? Shouldn't they treat you with a neutral attitude anyway? Yes, they should. But that's not how this world works, man. But I'm going to end this lesson here anyway, man. I just wanted to go into that, and I ended up talking about loads of other things anyway, and the destruction of Babylon as well, which is a good topic to speak on because it's prophecy, man. But I'm going to end the lesson there. All praises to Yahawah, Basham Yahushai, Basham Makak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.